I hate studying.
You're probably wondering, what the f did just happen? Let me explain. I was trying to make an honest video about how you can force yourself to study, even if you hate studying. But my dad was the cameraman.
I love studying. There is nothing better that I can do with my time than study. But I love to make jokes, guys. I want to become a comedian. I want to become a doctor.
If you clicked on this video, then chances are that you hate studying to some degree. Maybe it feels boring, maybe it feels pointless, or maybe, just maybe, it seems way too difficult. And honestly, I get it. Studying can feel like something you have to do. And when you hate something, forcing yourself to do it feels impossible. But here's the thing, studying is a skill. And just like any other skill on this entire planet, it can be taught. You can learn how to make it less painful. You can learn how to make it more enjoyable. And maybe it can change your life. Now that's a lot of maybes. So maybe we should get this video started. I told you guys I want to become a comedian. In this video, I'm gonna break it down into 3 parts. First part, why you hate studying and why it's normal. Second part, how to study even when you don't feel like it. Third part, how to make studying easier and maybe even fun. Let's get into it. Part 1, why you hate studying. So why do so many people hate studying? Because we would rather be doing literally anything else but study. Well, to answer that question, we can use science. There is something called the motivation equation. It's a psychological formula that explains why we struggle to get things done. It comes down to 4 main things. The first one is, do you believe that you can succeed? If not, you won't even want to try. It's the same reason why people who want to lose weight give up after a while of trying, because sometimes it just seems impossible. Now, before we start talking about discipline and motivation, you have to grind. Let's think about it for a second. Because to some extent, it's completely logical to not want to do something that you can see yourself succeed in. By not even trying, you will save time, energy, and effort. You can do other things that you actually enjoy. Things like playing video games, watching movies, and just hanging out with friends, being comfortable. And if you want to solve that issue, you have to change your beliefs of what you think is possible, what you think is achievable. You have to start believing in the fact that you can actually get good grades. I know for some people this sounds unlogical, like you don't know my situation. But if you want to change, you have to start believing in it. You have to start to view yourself as someone who can sit and focus for hours without getting distracted. This is not going to be an easy process, I know, and it will take time. But once you change your beliefs of what you think you are capable of, it's going to change your life forever. And this is only the first part of the equation. The second factor of the equation is value. Does this feel meaningful? Because if not, it's hard to care. It's very difficult to work on something that you view as pointless, something that you don't even care about. And to be honest, I also struggle with this as well. A lot of times when I study, I tell myself, when am I ever gonna use this? My best advice here is just stop overthinking and try to find anything meaningful in the thing that you're doing. It could be small things that you find interesting. Remember, you don't have to be passionate about a subject to get a good grade in it. You just have to find small things that you find interesting that will give you enough fuel to keep you motivated. And when you're motivated and can see the meaning behind the work, it's easier to make yourself study. The third part of the equation is impulsiveness. If there are distractions everywhere, because if yes, then of course it's impossible to study. By distractions, I mean your environment, your room, your phone, social media, and anything else that could affect the way that you can focus. Try to make sure that your room is as clean as possible. Your room has to be a peaceful area. An area where you can study, where you can dive deep into some topics that you find interesting in school. You also have to study at a time where you feel energized. Personally, I prefer to study in the morning. That's where I have the most energy and that's where I have the highest level of focus. The last part of the equation is delay. If the deadline is too far away, then your brain won't see it as something urgent. Let me tell you a little secret about me. A couple years ago, I would wait until last moment to start working on my assignment. I would always keep telling myself, I will start tomorrow. I would tell myself, chill bro, you have a lot of time. Suddenly, maybe before I even realize it, it's 5 hours before deadline and I'm sitting there wondering what happened to my life. How can I end up in this situation? So a trick that I use today is that I set my own deadline. That way my brain knows that in 1 week, I don't care what happened, you have to turn the assignment in. And maybe I don't turn it in, but I have to be finished in 1 week. So my brain gets a sense of urgency and that will make me start working. The truth is, most people hate studying because one of those 4 factors is broken. But the good news is that you can fix them. After you have watched this video, I want you to write an equation down on a piece of paper and start thinking about every element of it. This will help you realize where you have the most need for improvement. Part 2. How to study even when you don't feel like it. Now, if you hate studying, you have 3 options. You have the short-term path, where you can make small adjustments to make studying less miserable. You have the long-term path where you can build skills that will make studying easier over time. And you have the exit path where you can learn how to actually study smarter so you don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. Let's go through each one of them. The first step is to understand why you hate studying. What is it about studying that you hate? Be specific. Do you hate sitting still for too long? Then try active studying. Use something like flashcards. Try to teach a friend or pace around while you review your notes. Do you hate long, exhausting study sessions? Then try the Pomodoro technique. Study for 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break. Do you hate certain subjects? Find a way to connect them into things that you actually enjoy. Turn it into a game. Do you get distracted easily? Then use the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself that you only have to study for 5 minutes. And what typically happens is that when you get started, you go way more than 5 minutes. The goal here is to make studying less painful, one small change at a time. Okay, so let's say after all that, you still hate studying. And to be honest, I can't blame you. What if instead of just forcing yourself to study, you become someone who actually enjoys to study? This is where we focus at mastery, getting good at the process of learning. Here's how you do it. Make it a game. Use active recall, spaced repetitions, and challenges to make it feel more interactive. Create a study ritual. Try to study at the same spot at the same time and reward yourself after it. Find the fun in whatever you study. Have you ever noticed how you can remember game strategies or like details about a movie without even trying? That's because you actually care about the thing. So as I mentioned earlier, try to find something interesting in the thing that you're studying and become invested by shifting your mindset from I have to study to I'm actually getting better at this. Studying becomes way easier. Study smarter so you can study less. Most students study the wrong way. They highlight everything but don't actually remember everything. Read notes over and over, which feels productive but is not. Cram the night before the exam and then forget everything on the day of the exam. Instead, you can use 3 study techniques that actually works. Active recall, instead of just passive reading, test yourself on the stuff that you're reading. Spaced repetition, spread out your study sessions instead of cramming. And Feynman technique, instead of just memorizing, try to explain the topic that you're reading about in your own words. This way, you will study faster, remember more, and hate it less. Studying will never be 100% fun, but it can be easier. And remember, if you're struggling, you're not alone. But I promise, if you apply at least one of these strategies, studying will become a lot easier. So pick a strategy, try it out, and let me know in the comments, what is the #1 thing that you hate about studying? Maybe I'll make a part 2. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.